Hey, this is Pierre. Welcome to another Take a Break with Valley CAD. So we're going to continue on with our What's New 22 series. And what we're going to be looking at today is the component-driven pattern feature inside of a SOLIDWORKS assembly. This is a really powerful feature, and SOLIDWORKS 2022 has made it even more powerful. So get your favorite cup of coffee or tea, and I'll see you in SOLIDWORKS in just a click. Hey there, welcome to SOLIDWORKS. So coming in here, I got this plate, and what I need to do with this plate is make it to where this insert patterns along these series of holes here. Now, if you're not familiar with the pattern-driven pattern, or component-driven pattern, I should say, this is a really nifty tool. What it will actually come in and do is it will recognize a given linear pattern or circular pattern or some form of a pattern at the part level. And what it will do is it'll transfer that same information into the assembly and allow other components to fall along that same pattern. So where's this located? It's actually located up in our linear component pattern drop down here. And then from here, you'll see pattern-driven component pattern. By clicking on this, SOLIDWORKS is going to ask you to come in and click on a given component. Then you click on a driven or driving feature or component on the component that you wanted to travel along. So before we go in and go into this feature here, we need to come in and fully define some of these components. And so what we're going to do is come in and make it so that this little insert falls along this given hole here. So simply clicking on this cylinder there, holding down Control, clicking on this circular edge there, I can say, hey, be concentric. Done. Then after that, we'll simply come in here, click on this bottom face like so, and then come in, hold down Control, click on that top face and say, you there, be coincident. Done. All right, so now this component is fully locked in relation to these other holes here. The only degree of freedom it has is that it can spin a little bit, but that's okay in this given scenario. So coming back up into linear component pattern, clicking on that drop down arrow there, and we're going to click on the pattern driven component pattern. So this has been a feature that's been around for many years, but SOLIDWORKS made it a little more powerful for 2022. So to components to pattern, I'm going to simply click on that insert that we just made it up. And then from here, it's going to ask me to click on a feature to make it, or a component, so that this given insert can pattern along it. So for instance, I'll come in here and click on that cylinder. SOLIDWORKS will come through and it'll recognize, hey, here are those other series of holes. And what's really cool is that these series of holes aren't just in a straight line. They're also traveling out, following the arc of this top surface. Really awesome that SOLIDWORKS can do that for you. Now, what makes it even a little more powerful is this thing that says select seed position. So right now, SOLIDWORKS is coming in and is dropping in that pin at that given location. Well, if I come in and said select seed position, I can now come in here, and right now it's actually being referenced off of there. Let's say I come in and click on this point. By doing that, you'll see that SOLIDWORKS does update the location of all these inserts based off of that seed location. Now in this scenario, that's not really going to work. So I'm going to say select seed position again. And let's say I come in and I click on that one. Now SOLIDWORKS will come through and it'll drop the components in its given location. Now I'll come in here and we'll do that again. You know, like for instance, this little insert here is a Countersunk Insert. We'll hold Control and drag that off like so. And once again, we'll do the same thing. We'll say from this surface and that surface, we'll make it so it's coincident. Now, with that coincident there, it did go the wrong side. So we'll simply come in here and we'll edit that one and we'll flip it over onto the other side. So just changing my alignment. Done. Then from here, what we want to do is locate this. So it's going to be located about that countersink hole like so. Okay, so what if we didn't make this up perfectly along like where these other holes are? Can we still use that component driven pattern? Actually, you can. So I'm going to come back down to pattern driven component pattern. And because I had this component pre-selected, I'll come in and do it again. We'll click on that component alone. And then the feature that I want is this one, this countersink. So by doing this, because this component is living way down here, SOLIDWORKS is recognizing where each of these holes are on that top surface again, and it's locating it as needed. And once again, if I come in and say select seed position, if I say go there, well, you'll see that SOLIDWORKS will offset everything to the side. Okay, well in this scenario, once again, I don't want in that location. I'd rather have it based off of here. And from here, simply say okay. So these components are all being controlled by this given pattern that was used in that part file. So we'll just need to come in and finalize our concentric mate here. I'll simply make that concentric like so. And then you'll see all these other components match up nicely to the given holes that are on this part already. Awesome. So once again, this is another new feature of SOLIDWORKS 2022, is that selecting your seed pattern. Really awesome that SOLIDWORKS has made that available to us. And by the way, if you moved, like for instance, this mate here and we made it to this other hole, SOLIDWORKS will actually come in and it will update all the components to match that as well. So it'll still keep all the components lined up on those holes as well. Really awesome. So anyways, thank you for taking a minute here to watch this video. If you are enjoying these videos, please click that thumbs up button. Also click subscribe so you can get notified of future Take a Break videos and other videos we are posting here at Valley CAD. Have a great rest of the day and make sure you learn something new.